Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest, the collection videos. I am, as always, your host, Midnight Sun, and today we are going to be picking up a particular item which people on the forum, over there on Something Awful, have been quite excited about. So if you're only watching it on YouTube and you're not reading the forum, well, you're missing out on a lot. Anyways, we're going to be getting ourselves the Giant's Knife today. It's a very special little item. Basically, it's a big sword, and it does a whole bunch more damage. Of course, this Goron here, it's just a small item. He's an especially large Goron, actually. It's going to cost us 200 rupees, so it's a good thing we upgraded our wallet, but you know what? It's worth it. We got the Giant's Knife. There we go. That's really all that it takes. Shut up, Navi. So, yeah, there we go. So let's just take out our new sword and give it a swing. In more than just the figurative sense. It's a pretty broad item, you know. Pretty cool. Look at that. It's it's broken. It's broken! Dude, I just paid 200 rupees for this piece of shit. Yeah. Yeah, buying. How about you give me a new one? Your knife just... Oh my god, the nerve of some Gorons. Wow. Okay, guys, I'm really sorry. I don't know. This must be a bug? Although I can't imagine that it would be a bug, considering that... I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to try and find something else to do with our time. How about this? You know what? There are some people that we haven't visited in a little while. We've seen them, but we haven't visited them. So, let's go ahead and give them a visit. Maybe they can direct us to something fun. Alright, so here we are in Kakariko. Now, there's a lady over here that we helped out when we were a kid. So let's see if she has anything for Harvey to do now. I mean, she's in the same place, so... Okay. So she's got a new kind of cuck that she can put into her pocket. Uh-huh. Is that so? I've never heard them used for that purpose. Huh. Anyway, she's got herself a portable cuck. And it's... Oh, it's not happy. Well, I don't really know if I want to say I'll make your cuck happy. However, we are going to take the egg for the cucko. The pocket cucko. And yeah, why not? I'll give your cuck a try. There we go. Yes, once again, we have got ourselves a pocket egg, or just an egg in general. Now, just as with the other very shiny egg, we are going to need to wait for this one to hatch. We go by the same... By the way, if my voice sounds a little bit weird, I have a bit of a sore throat, so I have a cough drop in the side of my mouth. I'm just going to take that out right now, actually. But, ooh, that noise. We know that noise. It's Talon. I think we know who we have to wake up. Now, last time we had to wait overnight. However, we are able to cheat and just use the Sun Song after getting it wrong a couple of times. But yes, we are just able to use the Sun Song and fast forward through the night, and the cucko will hatch. Cuck. What I'm just going to keep on calling it Cuck for short. So that lady managed to get over her fear of cucks. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm going to call her Anju just because... There we go, chicken for the egg. Just because, you know, back in, well, not back, but forward for this game, in Majora's Mask, there was a character that had her exact model, as with many of the characters in Majora's Mask, and she was Anju, so I'm just going to keep on calling her that. Yep. By the way, Talon, if you speak to him before you've gotten Epona, he will actually say things about how Milan is in trouble and stuff, and Ingo and blah. However, now that we have done this, he is totally chill and he's going to go back to the ranch. However, that is a story for a different day. We are not going to be covering that right now, so let's go ahead and talk to the lady again, talk to Anju. See what she has to say about this. It's a pretty interesting development. We've got our cuck all happy. It's standing tall and proud. Yes, I made it happy, don't worry. It's kind of disturbing to say that to a lady. I mean... You know what this sounds like, right? Yeah. Anyway, we're very good with our cuck. So apparently she's going to give us a very rare one. She collects them, apparently. So there you go. And she's named it. She's named it Kojiro. Uh-huh. What were you... I'm not going to question this. I'm just going to keep on, yeah, sure, I'll take that away from you. I don't think we... Okay, I'm not going to even consider that. Anyway, so we have Kojiro. Now, Kojiro, in case you haven't noticed, yes, we are starting a trading sequence. Every single Zelda game has one. And because of the fact that the game doesn't really point you in any way I've ever found towards where you need to bring him, I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward there. Alright, so next on our mysterious trading sequence, we come to the Lost Woods, where we will find that guy who was just being lazy around Kakariko back when Harvey was a kid. If we talk to him, we find that he's sleeping in the forest. And here we go! Hey bro, I brought your special brew cuck. It's got a very special body to it, very, very pleasing to the ladies apparently. Yes! Alright, so apparently, Kojiro here is not very amicable to most people. He will only crow for people who are good guys. And because we are a good guy, he's entrusting us with his red-headed mushroom. Oh, Nintendo, if you keep on going like this, you're going to have to start giving your games harsher ratings. Anyways, we have 3 minutes on the clock. Go! Now, this is one thing that is a little bit different. Not too many of the Legend of Zelda trading sequences, because I think every single game has one of some sort. But not too many of them have a timed event. Or if they do, usually they only have one. However, we're going to see that about half of this entire journey is timed. So, maybe a little bit less, but you want to know what? Around half. There we go, around half. So let's get up onto a... Okay, let's jump off opponent. Let's get onto opponent. Make up our minds at some point. Anyways, but yes, you'll find that a good amount of this is actually timed. Which means I couldn't just kind of skip over, I kind of had to keep on going. One thing to remember, though, is that you should not be too afraid of the timer. It is... Even though maybe it seems a little bit harsh, it's like, oh geez, I only have 3 minutes to get to, you know, Kakariko Village, to some place I don't think I've ever even heard of. However, even though it seems slightly intimidating, it's not actually all that bad. 3 minutes just to get there? If you have Epona, it's no sweat. However, there are parts of this trading sequence that if you do not have her, you are just going to you're just going to fail. It's impossible to get to some places within the amount of time that they give you. Speaking of time, we need to change the time of day because we can only get to the place that we were asked to go to, or at least it's easiest to get there when it is daytime. Fortunately, even though a whole bunch of time passes, it is magical time, so the mushroom does not go rotten. And we're, you know, going to have to go to the potion shop. However, he mentioned that it is not the normal potion shop person. The old hag is the one that we want to go to, behind the potion shop. The guy who's actually inside the potion shop is a little bit of a smiling douchebag. He's smiling, he's got his arms folded, he feels pretty secure because he's got so many things that are so overpriced. And right now, we can't buy any of them. I think he's looking down on us, guys. I don't like him at all. Anyway, now that we are here, we need to position ourselves very carefully, and then talk to this old lady. Yes, I do. It's actually alluded somewhere. I don't know if it's in the Gossip Stones. I mean, the Gossip Stones are a pretty good source of, you know, useless information. But I believe it's somewhere that this might actually be that kid's mom. So in other words, it's Anju's mom, too. Even though in Majora's Mask, it was Anju's grandmother. And she was very nice, not creepy, she didn't smell you. She just read you stories and gave you pieces of heart. Well, one. And then rupees. Anyway, we got ourselves an odd potion. It's not really a potion, it's more like a powder. A very shiny powder. And she gives us some very sage advice. That there is no medicine that can cure a fool. That's true. That's so damn deep. Anyways, remember all that, you guys. If you're stupid, we can't really help you with the medicines. Anyway, now that we have that, we can make our way back to the forest. So, after heading through the overpriced shop, we're gonna go there. Screw you, potion shop guy. Screw you. Hop, skip, and a jump later, along with a Morgan Freeman picture, we are in the Lost Woods. And I don't remember that guy having a fairy. No, it is the creepy little girl. This thing is just full of creepy people. I hate this trading sequence sometimes just because creepy, creepy, creepy. Anyway, so she's explaining to us a little bit of something that we didn't know yet. Maybe we didn't need to know, because now our conscience is going to be all riled up. Apparently, Stalfos are just people who came into the forest and got lost. But apparently everybody who comes into the forest will get lost. Except I'm assuming the Kokiri, or in Harvey's case, people who are associated with them. Anyway, she's being a rude little prick, and she's demanding that we give back the medicine simply because it is made from a mushroom in the forest. I'm sure that at this point we could argue against her using Justinian's law code, but I can't remember all of those, and they were difficult enough to memorize at that time as is. Once again, I do not have a set memory of what indicates where we need to bring this, so I'm just going to go ahead and go to where it needs to go. Where it needs to go happens to be a new place in this world. Sorry, I was so helpful with the masks. I was able to just walk up to the right people and have them tell me where I needed to bring it. Well, except for the last one. That was a special case. That was more like a, you need to find that guy by chance, I think. There's very few things in Harvey's kid time to indicate what you need to do besides just running into him. I think you actually do need to talk to him as an adult in order to... by the way, we will be talking to him as an adult, but you need to do that in order to actually find out that he wants to be like a bunny. Anyway, we are in the very... okay, somebody's got to tell me... I'm sure there's going to be a difference of opinions here. How did you pronounce this area? I've heard... By the way, yeah, this is the guy's dad, remember. He's giving us a little bit of background on this area. We don't need this yet. We're going to be getting into this a little bit more later. So, how do you guys pronounce this area? For some reason, my siblings and I always used to call this Gerudo. I mean, G-E-R, Ger, U, and then D-O, like do, to do something. And that's really all that we ever did. But I've heard some people say Gerudo, things like that. With the hard G as opposed to the softer one. And by the way, he's giving us something in return with Biggoron too. Oh, great. Another Biggoron piece of crap. Or just another Goron-made piece of crap. Now we have two of them! Yay! Maybe if we fuse them together, we can make the hilt sword. Never be without a blade, because the hilt itself is your blade. I guess. Anyway. Enough talking. Let's go ahead and head back to where we need to go. Alright, so we got ourselves up here in Death Mountain Crater, and even though Navi is warning us that it is a little bit too hot in here for us to survive for very long, we do have a full minute and a half to get out of here. And that is going to be more than enough to exit this place. So, we got our hook shot, and we got across. Yeah, and we're going to exit the way that we would in order to get to the top of the mountain, as opposed to back into Goron Village, which we are quite done with. Thank you very much. I mean, there are a couple more things to do in there, but right now we don't need it. Right now, I mean, I think. There's one funny place to go that I don't think is really necessary. In fact, it's not necessary at all. It's kind of a waste of time after, like, you think so hard about how to get there. Anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm rambling again. Yeah, and you thought the last guy was a big Goron, right? This guy's a pretty big Goron. He is the Biggoron. You can see this guy from all the way down the mountain. Yeah. Yeah, his brother, by the way, is Medigoron, like medium Goron. So Medigoron? I don't know. Anyway, so he has a thing with R's and S's and N's, and a lot of consonants. He will actually go ahead and just elongate for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I mean, I know it's a, just like maybe a speech quirk, but maybe when it was written out in Japanese, it seems a lot better, because there are some things that when they're written out in Japanese, the original language, just in any language really, it's a lot easier to understand if you know the language. So maybe that speech quirk would make a lot more sense. Anyway, we need to go to the recently unfrozen King Zora for the next leg of this trade sequence, so let's go ahead and do that. Alrighty then, so here we are with King Zora. We're going to present him with this, what is it, the recipe? Or is it just an order form? Whatever, I'm just going to call it the paper. We present him with the paper, and he says that, oh, he doesn't have them. That's unfortunate. Oh, okay, good. So, in other words, we have a doctor out of the laboratory. That's nice. That's nice. Alright, but we need to get them there fresh, so we know that we are going to have another timed event. Alright, so maybe I lied. Only 3 legs of this journey are actually timed. Alright, here we go. 3 minutes on the clock. Now, here's the thing. You might wonder, hey, Midnight Sun, why didn't you simply warp to Lake Hylia? I see that you have that water tunic on. Clearly, you must be able to do that now, right? Right? And sure, you're right. I would be able to warp all the way over to Lake Hylia, where we need to go right now, and cut out a good, you know, like, basically all the time that we need to travel. It would take me less than a minute after we got there to get from the middle of the lake to the house where that guy is. You know, it's one that we've passed by, you know, a few times now. However, doing so is very deadly. Now, if you're trying to pound this out as fast as possible, you can go back. Cox pounding. God. Anyway, you can go back and you can restart a leg of the journey at any time. Well, not any time. You need to fail it first. But, you know, after you fail a leg of the journey, you can go back, you can restart it. You know, there's no penalty. It's not like it's lost forever once you've done it. Fortunately, we had a game like Majora's Mask for that, where you had to reset the entire sequence of events. And I'm sorry, but I like that. You know, couple's mask. Enough said. Anyway, I'm going to call Epona to get quickly across. However, if you warp to the place that you need to go to, your timer, I do believe, I mean, I've looked it up. I just remember bad things happening, but I looked it up. Your timer is automatically set to 1 second. So for some reason, you can use, like, you know, the Sun Song. That's okay as long as when you have a timer on. However, when you try and warp, when you try and circumvent the trip that they designed for this whole thing, that's when they penalize you. You know, just changing the time of day in a Hyrule, that doesn't really matter. In Terminus, obviously, it does. Termina, I'm sorry, Termina. You know, but in Hyrule, you know, time of day is really just whether or not you have stall children popping out of the ground or not. Really, that's one of the only differences. Some things close, some things open. But really, when it comes to this, everything that you need to get into is always open for Adult Link whenever you need to, you know, get there. So blah. I'm just talking at this point, but it's good talking. This is the kind of talking that we need to, you know, learn to be better at Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, when we're going to be trying to get the Biggoron sword, which is the end result of this whole quest chain. Now, I do not put Epona right next to the door because that can be kind of awkward for getting on her. This part here, like, in front of his door and in the laboratory, I have failed more than any other attempt at the Biggoron sword, which is not very many. Okay, I accidentally skipped that over, but he was basically just talking about, you know, how they're delicious and how it's been a long time because Zora's domain froze over. But if you do not position yourself properly, you will never get his attention. I have failed, I think, 5 times to get Biggoron's sword because for some reason, even though I was right up next to him, I was literally just banging, you know, Harvey or, you know, whatever I had named the hero at that point. I was banging him against him and saying, take the freaking frog, man. But he would not take the freaking frog. So you need to make sure you're positioned properly because that can screw you up. And I remember another time, I somehow managed to, no, twice actually, this happened twice, I somehow managed to position Epona in such a way that whenever I tried to mount her, all I was doing was reading the sign next to his house. And I couldn't stop it. And by the time that I got the mind, both times, to just cut the stupid thing so I couldn't read it anymore, it was too late. It was just too late. Anyway, we have a new task with a little bit more time, just 1 more minute added on to the clock. We need to get back to Biggoron. This is the final leg of the journey, or at least the final one that has any stress attached to it. The next part is rather easy. One thing you'll notice, now I don't know why this is, I don't remember this happening any other time. In fact, I can clearly remember all the other times it's been rather nice and sunny whenever it's been daytime. But for some reason, the clouds are ominous. The clouds have turned rather gloomy and dark, and something not good's about to happen colored. So, I don't know why that is. I was kind of looking around the entire time. I was like, okay, hang on a second. Yeah, I was looking around this whole time. I had to cough right there. I was looking around this whole time, and that's why I had the cough drop. I was just kind of wondering, when's Ganondorf gonna pop out and, you know, try and give me another one of his electrifying high fives? Because this does not usually happen. And look, it's not like it's just in Hyrule Field, it's in Kakariko Village too. I do not remember this. This is, like, I'm gonna play through, I'm gonna maybe go into my Ocarina of Time file, just like the normal one, the one that I'm doing minimalist. And I won't save it, just to make sure that I'm fulfilling my promise on that one. Oh yeah, by the way, after I was done with this, I diligently went around and collected hearts instead of getting a fairy, by the way, just to keep my promise. No fairies. Even though I didn't record that, so you're just going to have to trust me on my word, but I'm hoping that all of you will do that. The internet. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, I'll go into my Ocarina of Time file, I'll check around, I'll see if, you know, maybe it stays the same way, maybe I'm just being stupid and forgetting about it, but I do not remember this really gloomy situation for the weather. The last few times that I was, you know, bringing Biggoron his eye drops. You know, I would expect this during a necessary event in the game, not during something which is really only for those who say, you know, really want to do it, who have the time, who discovered these things, you know, by chance. It's just out of character for the game. Anyway, fortunately, the mountain will not explode on us and send down a torrent of, what's it called? Eruption rocks, stuff, things. Be quiet. We're not going to see any more eruptions. That's actually another weird thing, because I was pretty sure I had seen an eruption before. You want to know what? At this point, I'm not sure about any of my knowledge in this area right here, so I'm just going to shut my mouth before I make an even bigger fool out of myself, because people are on the forum are going to be like, oh, you know, man, it's always like that. You'll be stupid. You'll be hit by skullbaltulas. And I'm just going to, you know, sit on my desk looking at the forum crying, so enough of that. We get up here with a minute to spare, so that last minute was not wasted. Unfortunately, he's a lot easier to give his item to than anybody else. And he's been waiting for us with tears in his eyes. Please say hello to King Zora. What? Wait. You've been waiting for us. That sounds more like what you would have said when you told us to go to King Zora. Okay. Anyway, big echoes for big eyes. And now he is healed with very red wow. It's stimulating, it's working great. Now he can get back to his work. It's not very consistent, so you won't forget. Oh, he's Canadian, that's what it is. Or, wait, no, that's not Canadian, that's something else. Shut up. Biggoron sword. We got a claim check for it. We can't wait for the sword to be completed, yay! The game's telling us that we can't wait. You're right, I am impatient. You wanna know what impatient people do when they have to get through 3 days? They play a magical song that they learned from ghosts. Yeah. Alright, so we're just going to speed this up because, you know, I play the song 6 times. We can... By the way, I love the wolf sound. I love that sound at 500% speed. Hang on. I'm sorry, I love that. Anyway, now we have gotten to our 3rd day. We can go ahead and present him with our claim check. And it is his finest work. We get ourselves the Biggoron sword. It is a lot better than the giant's knife for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's not a knife, it's a sword. That sounds a lot better. Second of all, this thing is not going to break. And third of all, we get to keep the claim check, so... oh yeah, it didn't cost us any rupees in the end. That's always nice. Now there's one more thing. Speaking of rupees, I'm about to show you why the Biggoron sword makes... Well, actually, just... Yeah, going through this whole thing makes getting rupees even more just... Well, it demeans the rupee. Ugh, it's disgusting, you'll see. Once again, for our last time into the Lost Woods, we are going to pop over here. Our good old friend, the Skull Kid. Not the Skull Kid, I'm sorry. Wait, is it the Skull Kid? Yeah, it's a Skull Kid. The Skull Kid is chilling out here. Unfortunately, they are hostile to adults, as we are about to read. So, we have to kill him. Possibly, depending on who you talk to, causing a time paradox. Now, you see that if we try and jump attack him or throw a long-ranged attack, he will disappear. But if we just kind of stab and swing, eventually we will kill him. By the way, check this out. I managed to do it. No, the animation keeps on going. It's just that it ran out there. And never mind. We kill him, though, and we can get 300 rupees. Even though my wallet isn't at max size right now, you know, it's only at 200. I'm pretty sure it gives you 300 rupees, and now rupees really are worthless. If you really want to or need to spend them on something, and there are very few things that you really would want to spend them on, really, when it comes down to it, you can just come back here. He never gives up. There's 3 of them in this forest, by the way, to do this on. The other place, though, spawns 2 at a time, so considering how much damage they do, if you're a little bit low on hearts, I would suggest just going after the 1. Maybe really feeling on hearts beforehand, because he has a weird way of jumping around the area if you corner him, like, against the tree. Anyway, that is all that we have for today. So what did we do? We handled a whole bunch of cucks, we made them happy, and we handed off a mushroom to a lady who was stroking her pussy. No, really, go back and check. She had a cat. You thought that I was being naughty. No, I'm simply using a proper word for something that has a connotation. Ooh, I'm being sneaky. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of me acting like a child. I'm just going to go ahead and sign off. I will talk to all of you on the forum, or if you just watch on YouTube, well, I hope to talk to you on the forum anyway. You should go ahead and join. Have a good day, I guess. Wow, that was a lame way to end the video. Jeez, I was just standing there. Oh god, I'm still talking. Bye.